everyone, we have made it to the final week of 2020. Woohoo! And with that comes New Year's resolutions and goals, and one of the most common ones that people make are wanting to lose weight or starting a diet, being healthy, exercising more, and which are all fine and well, but oftentimes people give up on these. And so for this video, I wanted to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to commit to these resolutions and to make them a part of your lifestyle. As you can see, this is just a fraction of the different diet books that are found at the Star Valley Branch Library. And if you do a quick Google search, you'll find even more. So many of them, they all promise the same thing, to help you lose weight, or that they are the one that is the secret to a healthy lifestyle, to help you lose weight very quickly. And a lot of times they're either super complicated, uncomfortable, you're starving all the time, or they just don't work. And not to say that diets are bad, but it's just important to know what works for you. And if you want to check out a book and follow a diet like this, that is perfectly fine if it works. If it doesn't, I have another solution. It's very simple, very easy. Absolutely anyone can do it. Portion control with a balanced diet. I know it's probably not what you want to hear, super simple. How can this work? Because we are always looking at our favorite celebrities and movie stars and athletes that have these amazing six-pack abs and gorgeous, sexy bodies that we'd all love to have. But the truth is, they are in a league all their own. They have thousands of dollars a month that they spend on food or procedures, and probably spend 6 to 8 hours at the gym sometimes. We just can't afford to do that. Not very many people have the time, energy, or money to do that. We have kids, we have bills and mortgages and jobs, responsibilities that we just can't shirk off for the sake of our bodies. So it's important to acknowledge not just the results that you want, but to be realistic about what it's going to take to get those results. Other factors to consider and be realistic about are your body type, your metabolism, and your lifestyle, your body goals that you want, and if you have medical issues that need to be addressed before taking on a formal diet. Now, if you do feel like you want to try a diet, there's just a few things that I would like you to consider, and just not to say don't do it, but just to be realistic about what it's going to take. So first thing to consider, diets are hard. Okay, you're going to be hungry, you're going to have intense cravings, you're going to get headaches, you're going to struggle with energy, your moods are going to be all over the place, which is never good. Everybody has enough stress anyway, and that's just the physical side of it. So you also have to consider the mental aspect of diets. When everyone around you is having food that you're not allowed to eat, it's hard to see everyone else having fun while you just have to sit and watch. The second thing to consider is that you have to be, once you're committed to a diet, you have to be 100% committed every single day that you're on this diet. Otherwise, it will not work, and potentially one of three things is going to happen. Number one, you'll give in to your hunger and cravings. You'll go out and get everything that you couldn't eat and just binge like crazy, and this can lead to possible weight gain, where you will have way more after the diet than you did at the beginning. One of the things that this could lead to is called yo-yo dieting, which is just a vicious cycle, starting with extreme dieting, leading to binging, which then leads to weight gain, which leads to guilt and regret and negativity towards oneself, which then goes back to extreme dieting. And it just goes around and around. Metabolism is wrecked, your body doesn't know what to do, and it's just absolute chaos and horrible for you. You will make little to no progress on your diet if you're not following it 100%, which can lead to a lot of negative feelings towards oneself. This is often what causes body dysmorphia, which is the precursor to eating disorders such as bulimia and anorexia. Third thing to consider, that if you're not following a diet properly, is that it can actually be potentially dangerous towards your health. And I'm going to use the keto diet as an example. Keto diet, of course, is the high-fat, high-protein, low-carb diet. It's all the craze right now. And not to say that this diet doesn't work or that it is dangerous in itself, but it is an extreme diet which puts a lot of stress on the body to begin with. Just the switch alone can cause something called Keto Flu, where your body exhibits flu-like symptoms even though you're not sick. If it's followed incorrectly, it can lead to dehydration from losing electrolytes, The high amounts of protein can actually put a lot of stress on your kidneys, which is why it's important to speak to a doctor before starting any diet, because if you have weak kidneys, the keto diet can be potentially more dangerous for you. Nutrition deficiencies, every single diet has nutrition deficiencies, so it's important to know what you need and what you're not getting from the diet. Otherwise, it could lead to low blood sugar, it could damage your bone health, cause digestive problems, and potentially increase your risk of chronic diseases. The third thing to consider if you're going to do a formal diet or a fad diet is that they're not meant to be long-term lifestyle changes. They're short-term solutions that you need to get off of at some point. You need to stop. Even celebrities and athletes, guys, they will have an off season. They cycle off of their diets and they go back to eating cheeseburgers and their normal diet, and then they come back on. They go through a cycle. And this is because, remember, diets, every single diet out there has nutritional deficiencies that need to be addressed. Otherwise, they will have catastrophic effects in the long term. That's why there's always that disclaimer, check with your doctor before starting any diet program. And probably a lot of you see that and you're like, oh, well, I'm fine. There can be hidden things going on in your body that you do not know about, that your doctor can find and make sure that they give their professional advice. So whatever you do is actually safe for you and will be a benefit to you in the long term. For those of you who are thinking maybe you don't really want to do a formal diet, but you do want to practice portion control, how do you go about that? The easiest way to do it is
we're going to
use
start
your
with
hand
the palm
as a
of our
guide.
hand. This is what we're going to use to measure protein, like beef, fish, or chicken. It's roughly about 3 ounces. Next is a closed fist for measuring grains and starches, like sweet potatoes or even carrots, just because they have a high carb count. Next is a open hand that we're going to use to measure leafy green vegetables, like broccoli or spinach. And then we have a cupped hand for fresh fruits, nuts, crackers, or even ice cream if you feel like you want it. We're going to use our thumb, measuring from tip to knuckle for fats. You can also use it to measure peanut butters and dressings and cheese. And lastly, tip of the index finger for excess sugars. You can even use it for measuring chocolate or just candy in general if you feel like you need something sweet. And that's it, guys.